Yo, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another live hangout vid. All right. Ooh, yeah. This is Dan the Man Boxing coming out with another live hangout vid. Dig it. Come on, guys. I'm just having a little bit of sense of humor here. I'm trying to impersonate the Macho Man Randy Savage. God rest his soul. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, pro wrestlers. If you guys don't know who the Macho Man is, I suggest you go look at the old WWF films on online. You can check them out on YouTube or even on Daily Motion with his battles with Bret Hart, famously with Hulk Hogan, his rivalry with him, going back to WrestleMania 5. So obviously they had rivalry. I mean, they wrestled matches before that. But anyways, this video is not about Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm sorry, this hangout, I should say. So just wanted to do a little impersonation. Yo, what up, Chant Ross? What happened, dog? I just wanted to go ahead and do that impersonation, man. Just having some bit of fun. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm doing, man. But anyways, I wanted to do a couple of things here. One, I want to respond to LowPlace, okay? Because that hangout that he had with Pesh K and Fox in it. All right. But before I respond to that, I wanted to give you guys keep you in the loop on that something that I came across today. Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a little Instagram beef exchange. I think it was yesterday or it was a few hours ago, probably today. Okay. Now Sugar Ray Leonard posted a picture, right? It was a picture with him and Tommy Hearns. The picture looked like it was a picture taken from the early '90s or maybe the mid '90s, probably. Um, Floyd decided Floyd Mayweather Jr., that is, he decided to go ahead and troll Sugar Ray, and he typed in the comments section of the photo on Instagram saying, "Both of you guys are easy work, you and Hearns." And then Sugar Ray responded to that comment. He didn't take that comment very lightly. He said, "Here, look here, Floyd. First things first. I beat your dad. I knocked your dad out. Okay. Yes, gave me a little bit of a tough fight when we fought in Providence, but I'm only paraphrasing what he just said to him. He said, look, I KO'd your father, even though he was a bit tough. He gave me that tough fight in Providence many years ago. But you're too easy for me, man. I would have smoked you. Now, let me just say this though. I know, look, these are these are all retired guys going at it. That's fine. It's cool and dandy. It's just entertainment. But I will say this though. Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime would have killed Floyd Mayweather. I don't give a damn what anybody said. Sugar Ray Leonard is too strong for him, too naturally big, highly skilled, highly gifted, very athletic, and had unbelievable technique. All right. Now, the thing about Sugar Ray Leonard is that Floyd Mayweather is a naturally small guy. Okay, Sugar Ray, Sugar. I don't think that Floyd would gain the respect from Floyd Mayweather Jr. In his prime if he had fought Sugar Ray in his prime. I don't think he was able to get respect because Leonard not only was a very good technical fighter, he had great durability. He had an unbelievable iron chin, so he would be able to walk through Floyd Mayweather's punches. Okay, and he was a nice guy outside the ring with a $1 million smile, whatnot. But the dude, I'm gonna just be honest with you, the dude was mean as hell in the ring, and he was out to lay guys out. He was a very good boxer puncher, but boxer knockout puncher in his prime in the welterweight. Okay, Tommy Hearns against Floyd Mayweather Jr. in their prime at welterweight. Uh, that would have been a massacre. I'm sorry, Floyd. All due respect, you wouldn't even handle a guy like Tommy Hearns, who was very big as a fucking welterweight, had a long fucking reach and a long ass piston jab, long reaching arms. There's no way you can negate Tommy Hearns' reach and his hand skills. No way Floyd can negate that. Yeah, that shoulder roll ain't gonna save you from Tommy Hearns or Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm sorry, it's not. Yeah, you got the reflexes, but I don't think it will hold up against in a fight against Sugar Ray Leonard or Tommy Hearns in their prime. So for Floyd to go on Sugar Ray Leonard's Instagram and tell him that, hey, you and Hearns have been easy work. Ah, man, Floyd's just, he's in over his head on that one. I don't honestly, man. I don't know if Floyd. I mean, Floyd could. Somebody asked me this question long ago, and this is my opinion. This is not hating. Someone asked me, "Do you think Floyd could compete against Tommy Hearns and or Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran in the Marvin Hagler in their era?" Could he compete? I'm like, well, I think he could compete, but I don't think he'd be able to get his way like he did against his the opponents he fought, in his prime. And mind you, Floyd did fight some very good opponents in his prime. But at the same time, for the most part of his career, he did fight a lot of guys who were way past their best. He did do that. So to me, with the short answer is that I don't think that Floyd would be able to get his way with those guys like Duran, Hearns, and Hagler and Leonard, like he did with these guys, and in the lower weight classes, either beyond welterweight. So, yeah, I just don't think he'd be able to, to withstand the ferocity of those guys. Yeah, to be honest with you. What's going on, peanut crackers? Keep peanut butts and crackers, man. What up, peanut crackers, man? My bad. I'm tongue-tied here. Yeah, let me see. Peanut says here that hang in there, champ. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to all you guys, man. Well, both of you guys. You guys only two in the comment section for so far. I know I've been away from it because I was spending time with my lady and my family. It's a holiday, so I thought I'd jump on here and respond to LowPlace and give my take on this Sugar Ray Leonard and Mayweather Instagram beef. What's up, Rasclad? I know you're not a fan of Floyd Mayweather. I know that, brother. But I'm just telling you, man, you might agree with me on this one. Floyd trolled Sugar Ray. What's up, Rock? What's up, man? He trolled Sugar Ray and he said, look, you and Hearns would have been easy work for me. And Sugar Ray didn't like that comment. So he responded back to Floyd and told Floyd, look, man, I knocked your father out, okay? Yeah, he gave me a tough fight at Providence. But you, on the other hand, you've been no problem for me. I would have KO'd you in my prime. And I believe Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray would have really, really beaten up Floyd Mayweather Jr. in their primes at welterweight. He would have beaten him up badly. And I don't think that Floyd could get Sugar Ray Leonard's respect because, again, Sugar Ray Leonard not only was a very good technical fighter, had unbelievable combination and hand speed and power. The dude had a great chin. He was very durable. I mean, Ray, he wouldn't be able to hurt Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard will walk through his punches. And like I said, that shoulder roll can only go so you can only get so far with the shoulder roll depending on the opponents that you fight. And Tommy Hearns, like I said, I think Tommy Hearns would have massacred Floyd Mayweather at welterweight. I'm sorry, he would have. And Rock 89 says here, I saw Floyd what he said. By the way, he disrespect legends and is horrible. Yeah, man, to me that was a bit disrespectful for Floyd to do that. I mean, look, I understand they're both retired. I mean, they're retired fighters. They're gonna go at it, but there's a level of respect, man. To me, yeah, man, Black Latino. Yeah, man, I agree. Yeah, Ray Leonard would have beaten up Floyd down badly. Yeah, Floyd should never have done that. He was just throwing his ass off, and that was disrespectful, man. I'm like, okay, you saw what Ray Leonard put his ass in his place and told him, boy, I would have knocked you out with my prime. So don't go there, So yeah, Black Latino says that Sugar Ray Leonard was way too athletic and had too much fire from him. Yeah, that's what it is. Plain and simple. Peanuts and crackers. To be fair, I don't think Floyd gets enough credit for his chin. Yeah. Floyd does have a good chin. I get that, but throughout his career, though, did he fight anyone that was on the level of Sugar Ray Leonard? No, he didn't. Did he fight anyone on the level of Tommy Hearns? No, he did not. Of course, you're in different eras. You can only fight the best opposition that's available to you. But truth be told, he never fought anyone that was on the caliber or the pedigree of Leonard. Well, I say pedigree, on the skill set and the stature of Leonard and Hearns. He never had. So to me, Hearns was a killer knockout artist at welterweight. He had unbelievable power. So to me, I don't know if Floyd Chin would hold up against the Tommy Hearns right hand. I'm just being honest. I don't think he could. Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, I'm with you on that, Champ Ross. I respect his skills. Floyd definitely has unbelievable skills. But for him to say that those guys have been easy work in their prime at welterweight, this dude is really. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Floyd's really kind of it's kind of yeah. Floyd's nah, man. He ain't there on that one. Yeah, he ain't gonna get no backers on that one, man. Yeah, man. Let me see, Chad Ross. I don't. I mean, well, peanut crackers. If you read my comments earlier, I'm not disagreeing with you. Oh, okay. I don't. I think you're talking about another guy in the comment section. Yo, Dan the man, Hearns jabbing would have been snap Floyd's net back. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Hearns jab was a killer, man. People talk about Kovalev's jab used to stun people. I mean, Tommy Hearns' left jab used to really hurt guys. I mean, if you look at that Virgil Hill fight, At light heavyweight, Tommy Hearns was snapping Virgil. He was jabbing Virgil Hill to death with that left jab, snapping his head back and hurting him. So yeah, man, Tommy Hearns had a jab that was out of this world, man. Kind of like Gerald McClellan when he had that power jab. So, Champ Ross says that Floyd's always full of shit. I mean, yeah, Floyd is Floyd, man. But for him to go there and troll Sugar Ray Leonard like that, he probably didn't expect Sugar Ray Leonard to respond to him because Sugar Ray Leonard does get a lot of comments on his Instagram or on Twitter, whatever. But I don't think Leonard's really on Facebook no more. I don't see him on Facebook that much. But he's more on Instagram. I think he finds it more effective to communicate with his fans. But it is what it is. Yeah, Black Latin Caesar said, look, no way in hell Floyd beats the Legends at 147 or above. He ain't big enough. He ain't got enough power. Exactly. I don't think he has enough power to get those guys' respect. Yes, he got the boxing ability. I mean, you can only use whatever advantages that you have. But to me, nah, I just don't think those guys will find a way to negate Floyd's tactics, especially Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime at welterweight. He would have found a way to negate it. Tommy Hearns would have too. So, and Roberto Duran too as well. So, I don't think Floyd could beat those three guys. Could he be competitive? Absolutely. But I don't think he could beat those three guys in their prime. No way. Rock 89 says that Hearns' jab derailed Leonard's career. Well, it kind of slowed it down. I would say that. I would say it slowed it down because after the Tommy Hearns fight, the first fight, Ray Leonard was he was a bit more cautious about his level of opposition. I'm not gonna lie to you, he was after that Tommy Hearns fight. And Ray Leonard could tell you to that day that Tommy Hearns is one of the most unbelievable fighters that he fought. It gave him hell throughout his career. So, Duran too as well, but the Hearns really hurt the guy. But fair, Duran did hurt Leonard too in their first fight. He did. He hurt him. So it is what it is. Black Latin Caesar says that Hearns' boxing skills were underrated, much more than just a KO. You know what? Absolutely, I agree with you on that one. Hearns really, actually had very good boxing skills, but again, his reputation of being a knockout puncher killer, not literally, but a knockout artist is really kind of derailed the idea that he derailed the notion that he had the boxing skills. He did. He had very good boxing skills. So very underrated. I agree with that comment on there, Black Latin Caesar. I mean, he had unbelievable footwork. He was very good with his distance. He was able to put his punches together. So the thing about Tommy Hearns is that sometimes he fought a little squared up sometimes. So that's one of the flaws that I could say about him. Peanut Crackers, the rascal. Come on, man, you're discrediting yourself for not giving Floyd his due. I hate Floyd trolling Sugar Ray Leonard, but you can't just let that be the cause of you to diss him as a fighter. Well, between you and Rosclot, Peanut Crackers, I mean, I hope you guys keep it respectful, but it is what it is, man. Rosclot, Hearn had trouble hitting Benitez, something to think about. That is true. Benitez did give Hearn some problems in that fight. And honestly, many people thought that Benitez wouldn't even survive against Tommy Hearns because Benitez is a smaller guy too. He going all the way up to damn light middleweight to take on Tommy Hearns, who's a much bigger guy. And he did give Hearns some problems. He did give him some problems in that fight, but he didn't have the power to hurt and disrupt Hearns. And Hearns kept coming forward and didn't give him that much respect. So he was being elusive, but again, Tommy Hearns was able to pinpoint that and break him down and slow him down to finish the fight and get the decision and become the lineal and unified 154-pound champion. Exactly, Dan. Floyd at 147 was a defensive fighter with a selective punching output. Ray Leonard, Hearns, Duran were pit bulls that fought for glory. Yeah, no denying it. It did. That's the truth. Couldn't agree with you more on that one, man. Peanuts and Crackers said that if fights had been 12 rounds back then, or 15 rounds back, or 12 rounds back then, Hearns would have beaten Leonard in their first fight. Well, that's true because that fight went to 14 rounds. And Tommy Hearns would have gotten that fight on the decision. But at the same time, let's be fair though, because back then, fighters actually fought in slower spurts and in paces because they knew they had to be prepared for a 15-round fight. Now, if you had eliminated the 3 rounds and put 12-round a 12-round system back then maybe Leonard would have found more urgency to fight back against Tommy Hearns in the earlier rounds rather than the 9th or 10th or 11th round. You see what I mean? So good point, but then again, you have to look at it from another perspective. if Leonard probably would have saw some more urgency, you know, like maybe in the 5th or 7th round, 6th round of that fight, or 7th round of that fight. So, Peanuts and Cracker says, love the Hearns talk, by the way. I'm always down for that. Hey, is Tommy Hearns your favorite fighter, brother? Let's see. Ross Clock says here, I give Floyd his dues, brother, but I just dislike him. Fair enough. Trust me, man, I'm the same way. I give fighters dues that I don't like myself, but I give them their dues. Rock 89 says, as great as Floyd is, as great as Floyd was, but he carefully crafted his way to 50-0. Hey, he did. Floyd doesn't deny that himself. He did. Again, this is why I tell people, hey, what's going on, Pesh, man? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Yeah, I'm going to respond to that hangout that you had with LowPlace. Not about you, but to him. But I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Floyd did had a good career, no question about it. But he did carefully crafted his way to that record that he has. He doesn't deny that. He said himself that I'm going to be very selective of who I fight and when I'm going to fight them and how I'm going to fight them. Okay, I'm not going to put myself in a situation I'm going to risk my health. Now I'm in a position where I can dictate terms and call shots. But at the same time, he did have some good wins leading up to that. I will give him that. But for him to call himself TBE, to say that he's better than Ali, he's better than Robinson, he's better than Hearns, Hagler, and Leonard, and Duran, and all those guys, and Sweet Pea Whitaker, no. He taking that too far. He taking that too far. That's why I said, look, man, you can't. I mean, it's one thing to think that you're the best. You could say you're the best of your era and your generation. That's fine. But to say you're the best ever to the guys that came before you, no. You gonna get challenged on that, bro. You gonna get ridiculed. And this is the reason why people ridiculed his resume for saying, hey, wait, you carefully selected your opponents. What are you talking about? You know? So, you know, like I said, you could critique him. You know, he had a good career, but at the same time, there were flaws there, just like any other fighter. Black Latin Caesar said Floyd talking to Ray Leonard like that, like he's an average fighter, and let you know that Floyd is delusional. He said several times he's better than Robinson in turns, and yeah, he did. And I thought that he was being crazy, or he just did it to sell tickets. But if he really believes that, then he's really out of his mind. You know. Peanuts and Cracker says, without a question, Hitman is the #1 all-time favorite fighter. Peshke says, okay, go for it. Yeah, no problem, man. It's gonna be a respectful response. Yeah. Look, man, it's not against you. I have no problem with your opinions. LowPlace has his opinions too, but at the same time, I have to challenge it. I'm gonna do it in a respectful way. All right, but before I get to that, I gotta still address this whole Leonard and Mayweather Instagram situation, man. Champ Ross says they're technically 49. I mean, McGregor don't count in my opinion. Well, I do see your take on that, Champ. Champ. Yeah, because McGregor is not a fighter. He's not a boxer, okay? And the Nevada State Athletic Commission gave him a boxing license and granted that, and they sanctioned that fight. Tells you, it speaks volumes for itself. I know it's a fucked up situation because Floyd got a 50-0 record fighting a novice. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, it was sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission and other boxing commissions like the WBC. So with that said, it's on record. So, McGregor, yeah, it's an exhibition fight, but again, the WBC sanctioned it while the other sanctioned bodies wouldn't do it. And just to remind you, the WBC is a sanctioning body. So whatever fights they sanction does get count as credit towards the record books. They get recognized. So they recognize that fight, and that's why it goes on Floyd's record as 50-0. Trust me, I don't like it, brother. I don't like it, but like you said, it is what it is, man. It's shady how they, to me, I just don't know why the WBC granted that fight and sanctioned it, but it is what it is, So let's see here. Red Fox says that Floyd didn't do anything new saying that he's better than past fighters, but he never proved it. Yeah, like I said, it's nothing new, but at the same time, he actually went to Sugar Ray Leonard's Instagram and told him that I would have handled you and Tommy Hearns easily. That's what he told him. And Sugar Ray didn't like that. And he commented back at him and said, first of all, I fought your father and I knocked him out. Yes, he gave me a tough fight in Providence, but you would have been no problem for me. I would have KO'd you a lot worse than your father's. Paraphrasing. That's what he said to him. Anyways, it is what it is on that one. Peanuts and crackers, good choice, bro. Black Lives Caesar responding to him. Hearns was great and had that dog in it. My favorite, Evander Holyfield, Joe Lewis. Ah, man, Evander Holyfield. I'll tell you one thing, brother. I could talk about Evander Holyfield all day, man. See, you and I are on the same page here. uh, Akuma's Deception. Akuma, Street Fighter. What's up, man? I don't see how Sugar Ray Leonard or Sugar Ray Robinson would have beaten Floyd Mayweather. I mean, both had zero defense. Hitman Hearns is the only one I see beating Floyd based because of his length. Well, I disagree with you on that. Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson were very elusive, and they were very, very slick and awkward fighters. Sugar Ray Leonard had very underrated defense, okay? He didn't stand there and let you hit him, okay? He didn't stand squared up. He constantly moved his head and shoulders and parried off punches, just like Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, as far as Sugar Ray Robinson is concerned, you could say that, well, he kept his hands low most of the time. Yeah, I get that. But these guys were not easy to hit. Robinson has never been knocked out in his career. Yeah, the stoppage against Joey Maxim, or versus Joey Maxim. Joey Maxim got the victory over against Sugar Ray Robinson, but Sugar Ray Robinson actually retired in his corner because of heat exhaustion when he fought Maxim in an outdoor stadium. I think something like that. Okay, and Robinson was winning that fight until he quit, until he retired because he couldn't go on due to the heat exhaustion. But aside from that, the 18 losses that he had in his career, he never been stopped by anyone. Okay, Ray Leonard been stopped once in his career. Of his 40-year fight pro career, he only got stopped once against Hector Macho Camacho. Okay, that was a comeback fight that he hadn't had in 4 years. Okay, so both guys were very good defensively, very good. Okay, Floyd. So, like I said, if you believe Floyd could be more, competitive against Sugar Ray Robinson and Sugar Ray Leonard, but those guys were much bigger guys naturally, and Floyd he could never get their respect. What I mean by respect is in the ring, because his power he wouldn't have enough power to gain their respect, and they would just walk through his punches, and they would have cut off the ring against him to keep him stationary and broken down to the body. Because Leonard was a very good body puncher. And so was Robinson. They were very good body punchers and very good underrated body punchers. So that's the thing. All right, Pesh, I'm going to go throw you guys some links. Give me a second. I'm going to get you guys on. Give me 1 second. Rock89 says that, why did Floyd even start this? Man, I don't know, man. he said those guys were easy work, and yeah. I don't know, man. Someone probably told Floyd that Sugar Ray Leonard was better than him, and it pissed him off, and he took it to social media. Hey, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is, man. I mean, Floyd is Floyd, but for him to go out and disrespect Leonard like that and go on his Twitter page, I mean, some people are going to say, well, he's just trolling. I mean, look, both guys are retired, so what? But at the same time, still. Marxist says here that I haven't seen Ray Robinson fight at 147. Which is true, because there's no footage of his fights at 147, but there are on record, though. But there's plenty of his fights at middleweight. And from what I've seen him at middleweight, I would step out on a limb and say that Ray Robinson will knock Floyd the fuck out, knock him out the fuck out. Yeah, I agree. If you look at Ray Robinson's footage, how good he was with his left hooks and his body punch and his combinations, the guy was quick. He was very good fighting off the back feet. I mean, he was some credit him as a guy who actually developed a master technique. I'm sorry. Some credit Sugar Ray Robinson as a guy who mastered the technique of putting punches together off the back foot. He was an unbelievable back foot fighter, going backwards and putting combinations together. And that's a very, very difficult thing to do. And Robinson was able to do that. So, yeah, I think that Robinson would have knocked Floyd out. I really believe that, to be honest with you. I know some people are going to say that you're hating on Floyd. No, I'm telling the truth. I just think he would. I think he would. I just my opinion, I just think he would. Yeah, I mean, look, again, man, Floyd, if Peter Cracker's a good point. Floyd did have a good career. This is not a knock on him, but we're just telling the truth. We're just being honest here. He just didn't have that passion like those other four guys, like Duran, Leonard, Hearns, and Hagler did in their prime days in the 80s. He didn't have that in him, you know? So, you know, they all took losses, fine, but at the same time, great fighters challenged themselves, and that's what they did. Most of them did. They did do that, you know? So, all great fighters are going to win some and they're all going to lose some. Just because you retire undefeated doesn't mean you're greater than the other guy. Because there's many fighters before Floyd who retired undefeated, but they're not considered the greatest fighters of all time. They're not. And I can name plenty of them. You know, you could say some of them were considered a all-time great, yeah, but not as one of the greatest of all time. No, 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 no. You know, hey, what up, Wayne King 76, man? Yeah, we're talking about the Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather Instagram beef, man. You know, yeah. But let me get on this thing about Badou Jack and Terrence Crawford thing, and this is a response to LowPlace. I know Peshke, we were talking about this a second ago. I'll drop you a Fox link in a second. Let me just give you my thoughts on that. Um, I overheard you guys' the hangout, and I'm not mad at it. You guys have your opinions, that's cool. But I will say this though, you got to be careful what you say when you say the word outdone or achieved more than the other fighter, because you have to put quote unquote context into it. Uh, Peanuts and Cracker says, "Hey, Dana, man, who do you put higher, Floyd or Roy Jones Jr.?" Mm. Ah, man, that's a damn good question. I would say in his prime, Roy Jones was a much better fighter than Floyd. Skill set wise, I mean, well, skills, Floyd probably had the better skills technically, but Roy Jones was a very athletic guy, and he humiliated a lot of guys in the ring in his prime. You know, um, so pound for pound, I don't know. I mean, because Roy Jones, look, he got Virgil Hill, he got James Toney. I guess that at that time when he was in the prime, that James Toney win was probably his most significant win because he beat a prime James Toney, who's pound for pound number one. So it's kind of hard to tell. So if you want to say who stands out the most, maybe Roy Jones because he did that in his prime, and James Toney was a favorite to win that fight. And Diego Corrales against Floyd, very good win as well. But Diego Corrales already lost prior to that fight. And what? No, was Diego Corrales undefeated, or he already had a loss prior to that? Let me check that. I think he had a loss prior to that Floyd fight. Let me see. Or he went in there undefeated as well. Corrales himself was a pound for pound fighter as well. So yeah, he was undefeated in that fight. And he was the pretty big favorite to win it, and Floyd humiliated him. And Corrales was one of the pound for pound best fighters at that time too. So, uh, so yeah, that's a bit I don't know, maybe Jones. I guess because Jones fought the guy who was rated pound for pound number one, James Toney. Corrales, on the other hand, was a pound for pound fighter as well, but he wasn't number one. And Floyd dismantled him. So just like Roy Jones dismantled James Toney. But difference is Floyd stopped Diego Corrales, beat him up badly, just like James Toney. But he didn't, Corrales was just got knocked down 5 times. It was just a bad beating he took from Floyd. But the more, let's just say, the more significant or the more what's the word I'm talking about? The more you could say the historic win would be more the Roy Jones win over Jay Sony. So I mean, yeah, Jay Sony, yeah, the way he beat Jay Sony, that was a huge win. So I would say Jay Sony slightly, man. But anyway, let me get on to this Badou Jack thing. So again, you got to be careful your choice of words on when you say outdone and on the opposition or the opposition they fought. Okay. Now you can argue that Badou Jack perhaps fought guys who were more tougher than Crawford's opponents. That's a good arc. I get that. But as far as achieving, that's a different story. Okay. Now, Badou Jack, good fighter. Yes. Has a loss on his record. He got knocked out by Derek Edwards. And I believe this is the same guy that knocked out K9 Bundridge. I could be wrong. I have to check. Let me check on and see on that. Derek Edwards. Who did he beat? I think it was K9 Bundridge before the Badou Jack fight. I could be wrong. Let's see. Derek Edwards, I think he beat. Somebody remind me in the comment section. Who did he beat prior to that fight with Badou Jack? Was it K9 Bundridge? No, Red Fox. I'm not talking about you. I know you didn't say that. I know LowPlace did. I'm pretty much responding to LowPlace. But Derek Edwards, before the Badou Jack fight, before the knockout win, he lost to Adonis Stevenson prior to that fight, and yeah. So basically, yeah, okay, it was not K9 Buncher. I thought that was a different Edwards. Okay, my bad. That was not the same guy. Okay, but before the Badou Jack win, he beat way past his best Carl Daniels, and he lost to a prospect to Marcus Johnson at the time, and he lost to he lost to Adonis Stevenson, who Adonis Stevenson himself had a loss to Darnell Boone going into that fight. So okay. And the thing is, Badou Jack, I know Low in his hangout yesterday said that you can't, you have to, you have to take into account the fighter's record and what they did in the past. You have to take into account when you evaluate their careers. Good point. But when it comes to Badou Jack and Adonis Stevenson, he doesn't want to hear that. He doesn't. He wants people to ignore the fact that these guys suffered knockout losses in their careers. You have to take it into account. Okay. The reason why I say that is because you're making the argument that Badou Jack has achieved more than has outdone Terence Crawford. Well, Terence Crawford hasn't lost to anyone. He hasn't lost any fight yet. Number one, and he also mentioned in that hangout with you guys that Badou Jack beat a Olympic gold medalist, right? Well, actually, no, he fought an Olympic gold medalist. Well, yeah, he fought him, but he didn't beat him. He didn't beat him. Terence Crawford beat two of them, Yorboys Gamboa and Felix Diaz, which Lowe wants to discredit those wins. I don't know why. Yes, it's particularly Gamboa. Yes, Gamboa was coming off a layoff and he had personal issues. I get that. But Gamboa was still undefeated going into that fight, okay? Leading up to that fight, people felt that Crawford was going to get his biggest test against Gamboa, and he did, okay? Gamboa was pretty special at that time. He was a unified champion, okay? He was a pound-for-pound fighter, and Crawford had his best challenger. He gave Crawford some problems, and he even hurt him in that fight. And Crawford adjusted and got rid of him and knocked him out. It stopped him, okay? And that would lead Crawford to Fight of the Year and give him a lineal championship and one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world at that time. One of the best, okay? So, who did Badou Jack beat that was on the caliber of Gamboa? I'm waiting. Who did he beat was on that caliber? I can't think of anyone. He did not beat James DeGale, so don't say James DeGale. Another thing about James DeGale is that James DeGale is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. But what has he done that's great? What has he done? What did he do that Gamboa hasn't done? I'm waiting. What has he done? I mean, yeah, he won a title. That's great. He was Olympic gold medalist, just like Gamboa. That's cool. But did he unify titles like Gamboa did? No. Did James DeGale get on the pound-for-pound rankings just like Gamboa did? No, he did not. In fact, James DeGale, after he beat Andre Durrell, a guy who never won a title, by the way, very good fighter, yes, but never won a title, right? He struggled against Porky freaking Medina. He struggled in that fight. Yeah, he beat him. He's a Porky man, Chant Ross. So he beat him, but then he also struggled against Boutte. Didn't DeGale fight Boutte as well, just like Jack did? Okay, then, So, Lowe's making James DeGale, making him out to be such a very, very, very unbelievable great fighter, although he's not really a great fighter. He's a good fighter, yes, but James DeGale is still early in his career. Okay, he still got more to prove to show how great he is. Okay, he can get there, no question about it, but he's not as great as LowPlace makes him out to be. No, James DeGale's significant win is against Andre Durrell, a guy who hasn't even won a title. That's the best win on his record. Best win. All right. So what do you have? You have Terence Crawford beat Yorboys Gamboa. Gamboa is a much better fighter than Durrell. Now, if you want to talk about from a technical standpoint, that's a different story. Yes. But if you want to talk about what they have on their record, what they've accomplished, Gamboa is a much better accomplished fighter than Durrell. No question about it. He is. Okay? Now, I think about Nathan Cleverly because he says that Badou Jack should be Fighter of the Year. Okay, yeah, because he got a draw against James DeGale. He didn't win that fight. He goes up to weight 175 and he challenged Nathan Cleverly. It's funny, though, because he gives Badou Jack so much credit for the Nathan Cleverly win, although he initially discredited Cleverly because out of spite of Kovalev, right? And he denied that he did that. And I was like, oh, yes, you did. You did give him credit for that win on your hangout yesterday as a justification for Badou Jack to being the fighter of the year. He fought Nathan Cleverly for a regular title. It was a good win. I give Jack full credit for that win. No question about it. But come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Nathan Cleverly, you want to talk about Gamboa being inactive? Nathan Cleverly was shot, okay? He'd been knocked out previously. He's already had some losses on his record already. He's already been through some wars. So my point is that if you're going to discredit Crawford's win against Gamboa, then you have to discredit Jack's win against Cleverly. You have to, if you're going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link over here to Feshke. And another thing I want to ask these people in the comment section. Simple question. What has Badou Jack done that Terence Crawford has not done? I know you mentioned another thing he mentioned about bodies, okay? Terence Crawford's got to get bodies. I get that. But Badou Jack's only body is George Groves, okay? George Groves, what did he do? Yes, he fought some good competition, but he didn't win some of those fights. Carl Froch was a minor setback, but he came back against Chudinov. Good. I give George Groves credit for that. But his best win is against James DeGale. Great. Okay. But what has what has George Groves done that Terence Crawford hasn't done? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. What has he done? What has Badou Jack done that Terence Crawford has not done? All right. So again, I mean, you got to be careful where you choose your words about outdunning versus based off the level of the opposition they fought. Again, you cannot give a fighter credit for a fight that he did not win. Okay, you're not the decider on fights. Okay, you're just a spectator. You can have your assessment, your opinion, but the judges are the ones who are certified. They're the ones who will rectify and they sanction the fights. They're the ones who are allowed to do that, not you. Not you. And I'm talking to LowPlace, not you. So the Jack fight against Jason Gill is a draw. In the story, you cannot change anyone's opinions or minds about it. If you believe that Badou Jack won that fight, cool, no problem. It was a close fight, could have gone either way. But the fact is, it was a draw, and I thought that was a correct call. Okay. All right, so Pesh and Red, you guys can get in. Hey, Rock, man, if you want to get in, Black Lives Caesar, you guys can get in too. Yeah, Andre Durrell was definitely a great amateur, no question about it. Great amateur, an Olympian. Exactly. So, and another thing about Lowe, he said that Terence Crawford, he discredited his run at 140. Then he says, and I caught that comment too with you guys, Red and Peshke. He also said that Crawford should stay at 140 a little bit more to get more credit. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You discredit him for cleaning out 140 initially. He's going up to 147 to get the bodies that you want him to do. Now you're saying he should go back down, stay at 140 and do more there? That makes no sense. That makes no that really makes no sense to me. How can you make that type of statement? You know? Rock 89 says that look, we asked for fighters to clean out the division. Who else did that this year? Exactly. Crawford did that. No one else did it. Who else became undisputed champion besides Crawford on the men's side of boxing? No one else did. Okay? So Champ Ross says Jack is getting more credit than he should, is all because he's taking more tougher fights consecutively compared to these other clowns at PBC. Well, that's the thing I have to say about Badou Jack. I give him full credit for that because he is taking on the toughest opposition consecutively back to back to back to back. He is definitely doing that. But the problem is that he's in these tough fights. He's not winning these fights convincingly, other than the Nathan Cleverly fight. Now, as far as the Lucia Butte fight, yeah, I may have to agree with LowPlace on that one. Jack clearly won that fight, but they awarded a draw initially. Then Butte got caught with some PEDs, and they changed the rule the first ruling of the fight to a disqualification. So Badou Jack gets a win. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Try to join, but it won't let me. Huh? Really? Let me see, Pesh. I don't have you blocked, my friend. Let me see. Yeah, try it again. Let me try it one more time. If you don't, let me try to get you in on this way. Hold on for 1 second, man. All right, guys, try it again. All right, well, Red and Peshke is trying to figure this out. You guys talking about the Golovkin and Durrell amateur fight that took place many years ago? I haven't really watched those fights, to be honest with you, but I have to take a look at it because I know those fights were close from what I've been hearing. They could have gone either way. So I'll have to take a look at that. Oh no, I didn't try to get on. Okay. All right, yeah. If you try to do it from your phone through the Hangout, then it's going to give you a problem. Try to if you oh, you was referring to your own Hangout. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you're on your laptop, you click on the link that way, you get in. But if you guys could do this, send me an email privately, then I can add you that way. Yeah. Click the link. I can spare you guys another 20, 15 minutes. Then I'm about to close it out in 15 minutes and so you guys can get on. Kuma's deception says here that Crawford got the undisputed title, but he fought weak competition. I would say recent competition is more relevant than sanctioned strap bouts. Well, look, Victor Pestal was not a weak fighter, very good fighter. People thought Crawford was gonna, have a tough time against him, and some people believed that Pestal was gonna beat Crawford. And Crawford, I know people like myself argue that he fought a little bit too negative in that fight against Pestal, but he humiliated him at the same time and embarrassed him. And we haven't really seen Victor Postal ever since. Okay. Uh, Julius Adongo, yes, I understand, made easy work of him as well. But Adongo, people forget that Adongo actually was a very good amateur. He was an Olympian. People don't mention that. Okay, he already had pedigree before that Crawford fight. He came back from back-to-back wins in a hostile situation against fighters that no one thought he could beat, and he humiliated those two fighters. And he was very awkward, very tricky, very good defensively, and people thought that would be a tough challenge for Crawford. Crawford made it look easy. So you could say he fought okay competition. I wouldn't say they were weak. They were very good competition, but you can't say their bodies. I get that, but I wouldn't say again. The division is not bad, but again, it needs more. It needs more strength. Let's put it that way. Okay. I would say the division is weak for him, but he made it look easy. I remember people say that at 135, and look what he did to those guys at 135, Crawford. You know, so Olaf the body said, "Are you gonna talk about AJ Parker yet?" Well, we did talk. I did talk about that with Charlie Brown the other day, privately. Well, actually, no, actually yesterday I talked to him about it, and the fight looks like it's gonna go through. They've agreed to the term splits and everything, but all they need is what you call it, a venue to be set, and they need the date. That's all they need. So it's not fully confirmed yet, but they've agreed to the split. So that's one step down. Two more steps to go. Beltron was a top 5 lightweight. Paul Stahl was a top 3, and number 2 was Adongo. Yep. And Black Lion Caesar said, exactly, Dad. After Crawford beats him, all of a sudden they're weak fighters. Shaking my head. They keep moving the goalposts. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. I mean, be right back. Okay, Fesh. No problem, man. No problem. All right, bro. I sent you the link. Come on in. Yeah, there's sound now. Can you hear me? There you are. What's up?
I think you're doing it again. You putting numbers in front of these people to justify them. Like Beltran, they're just they're in a they're more or less in an average division and they're average kind of fighters.
Well, that's not me. That's the Red Fox that did that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
but whoever brought that about, that's just what it is. These fighters, some of them just ain't they shouldn't in a tough division. They never be looked at as a top 5 fighter. They just have Ricky Burns just can't do that. And he was a top 5 fighter at 140 again. Terrence Crawford, he's never beaten anybody as good as George Groves.
really Gamboa.
No,
You tell
no,
me
no,
this is
no,
Gamboa better than
nah,
George Rhodes? Is it
no.
George Rhodes better than Gamboa? Are you telling me that?
I'm telling you, George Groves is still here today for a reason,
No,
and
no, no, no.
Gamboa
Answer the
isn't.
question. No, no, no. Answer the
Uh,
question. Is George
Yes,
Rhodes
he
better than
is.
Gamboa? What?
At that time, what you saw Gamboa do is get a shot. He got a shot based on name recognition. George Groves was actually the mandatory contender. All right, he was the number one, two, the champion. He had fought his way into
Wait,
contention.
who did George Groves?
Gambo,
Wait, no. Who did George Groves that beat that was more accomplished than Gamboa?
that ain't all boxing's about.
No, 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 no. It is about. Answer the question. Who did he beat that was more
Okay, and then
accomplished
I'm
than
gonna ask
Gamboa?
you some questions. Okay, I'll answer that. Then I answer you some questions. Who
Okay, that's
has
fine.
George Groves beat? Are you saying before the fight or right now?
No, no, no. Before the fight. No, we when Gamboa and Crawford fought. Who was more accomplished? Who did George Groves beat that was more accomplished than Gamboa?
George Groves had beaten had put the first L on what's the name's resume, on James DeGale resume.
James
So
McGill is not more
you
accomplished
know
than Gamboa.
he
And
hold on
James
hold on
McGill
hold on hold
is
on hold on.
against Andre Terrell, who hasn't even won a title.
Whoa.
He hasn't won a title. That's
This
that's
accomplishment thing though. Where is Gamboa before this fight? What is he? Before this fight, what is Gamboa?
interim
During the
champion.
time this fight is announced, what is Gamboa?
He was an interim champion. He won
No, he
time
wasn't
pound.
the inner champion. He had dropped his belt and he had not defended that belt.
That's fine. Yeah, he was. That's fine. And he had some issues. Yeah, he had personal issues. I get that. Yes, he had come off a layoff. I said that many times. The fact of the matter is, he was undefeated. People said at the time, leading up to the fight, that this is a fight people were looking forward to because they thought this guy would give Crawford his best test yet. And he
It
did.
was okay.
He
Okay,
gave him
yes, it
one.
was best test. It's his best name at the moment. But
Yeah.
just that alone, everybody's gonna eventually have a best name at the moment. that does not make Gamboa a guy that had contended for a real title at 135 and gave a guy like Fry. See, I'd rather be a person who fought Froch and gave him hell than to be Gamboa and say, oh shit, my career is nowhere. Because even in a loss, you can win something here in boxing. Not saying it's the best thing to do. Even in a loss, you can come back and say, yo, people want to see more of me. Gamboa, we was basically saying, dog, this nigga's fucking his career up. So
Same
I
thing
just
with
don't
Groves.
agree.
Bro, same thing. Now, Groves, did he become a unified champion like Gamboa did?
Look, you can talk if we want to talk in the past.
No, no,
Gamboa
no.
was
Answer the question.
that's
After
what it
the
is.
he has okay. The answer is no. After the Froch fights, what happened to Groves before he
Okay,
got a shot?
okay. Now let's ask this: Has Gamboa picked up another belt like George Groves did?
No, no. Answer the question, bro. You can't
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
the question.
Okay. Yeah, he would. Gamboa, I believe, was a. I even believe he was going near being a three-time champion. I believe. Um. Yes, he was near. No, he was near being a three division champion is what I should say. I believe he was near being that. I could be wrong. I know he won the interim at 35, 26, and 30. He got belts. But what's going on here and what I'm saying is, look, you may have Gamboa before the fight, but it's a reason that's no longer him. That's a reason that he didn't have those things going into it. George Groves basically stopped an undefeated a guy that should be an undefeated fighter to win a real belt. And now he's potentially about to well, he
Yeah,
can't
with
unify, can he? The other yeah,
Andre
he can.
Dirrell, a
He can
guy.
unify what belt is it? He could unify WBC potentially.
Yeah, so against a guy who has his best win against Andre Dirrell, who hasn't won a title, good fighter, yes, but
Who
hasn't won a title.
whose
That
best win is Andre Durrell? Hold on, whose best win is Andre Durrell?
James DeGale. Okay. After that fight, struggle against Lucia Bute, struggle against Porky Medina. Okay. So are you telling me that those two guys right there, DeGale and Groves, are far better than Gamboa when Crawford fought him?
I don't know what's wrong with saying struggled with Lucian Bute. When we say, hold on,
He
understand,
was shot, bro. He was shot.
hold on. Bute was how are you shot taking the juice? He wasn't shot in the ring. He was fighting his ass off.
He was
He,
shot, bro.
I don't
He
even
was
think he was
shot.
shot versus. He wasn't even shot versus Alvarez. He was
Dude,
beating Alvarez at
he
175. He was
No,
beating him.
seeing him after that Carl Froch fight, you could tell has not been the
Listen,
same fighter
no, no,
after
no,
that.
no. You don't have to be. You don't. When you are a great fighter, a top fighter, knocking down a notch doesn't mean you cannot be competitive or you can't be a good victory. That doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't happening like that. Butte was beating Alvarez. Butte had a good fight
Yeah,
with
he lost. He
yeah,
lost. He got
yeah, he
knocked
did
out.
lose. Hey, that's what happens in the sport when you take the tough fights. When you take, hey, you went up in weight 75 somewhere you never been. All I can do is say, hey, you tried to be the mandatory to Adonis Stevenson and lineage and you failed. But the fact
Okay.
is this, he was beating him in the fight. He was looking good in the fight. He knows how to fight. Getting knocked out is just part of the sport. When I'm
Uh,
not going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you that I would favor, I would want on my resume a win over Beltran than over Butte. I wouldn't. I would want to win over Butte on my resume.
so you
That's
rather
just
have
my
a good win over Butte than Gamboa?
than
Is what you
Beltran. I just said. Then
Oh,
and let's say Gamboa at this point, maybe I maybe would want the knockout. I don't know. I don't know. It's questionable.
okay. All right. All right. Kind of scrambling over here, but let me ask you this: two questions. Well, one question actually. Yeah, two questions. How many gold medalists Badou Jack beat?
Do it right. He beat one.
No, he didn't. He didn't win
Yeah,
that fight.
I say if you do it right, I get it. This is the angle you're playing, but you're diminishing a great fighter doing this.
A great
That's
fighter.
what you're
I'm
doing.
asking you a
But
question.
yes, you are. You're diminishing a great fighter that showed you. Look. All I can say, I get where you're going. I get where you're trying to do this, but you are diminishing a great fighter in doing this, and that's not what being a boxing fan is about, man. I just cannot agree with. He
No,
beat
no,
the
no,
hell
no.
out of him.
He
He
lost
beat
him.
the
He
hell.
didn't win the fight.
Yeah, but hold on. What changed James? What changed James DeGale career? Where's
What
his?
chance?
Where's? Just answer me. What is the trajectory of James DeGale's career? And you knew this. I even told you this after the fight. It was downhill from there. And then what happened? Truax just hit the man, and the man showed that he was scared to get punched. That's what Badou Jack did to this man. On
Bruh,
paper, it was a draw.
bruh, Terence Gill was having difficult times in fights before that Badou Jack fight.
Whoa,
What do you
what
mean?
what was Gamboa doing when he was getting knocked down several times in fights? What do you
Exactly.
mean? So,
Exactly.
so
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not diminishing that fight at all. All I'm telling you is that fight was a draw. It could have gone either way. I would have been not been mad on whoever the winner was. I would not have been upset with
it
that.
couldn't have gone
Draw
anyway.
was
It
a
could.
draw.
It
Could have.
couldn't have gone anyway. It was a flat out robbery, and there's
Felt
I
like
mean,
it was a fight.
if you want, you come on, you watch the fight live with me. As if they got a way to do that, we can do that. I will take the risk of copyright strike on my channel, and we can flat out call to action. I'm not letting nobody tell me that clubbing shots that are slapping the gloves while Carl Froch is sitting there calling it. Yo, half of this shit ain't landing. Half of it's not effective, and he's getting broke. The man was broke down before the sixth round. He was broke down before the sixth.
Price is the same guy who gave before the stoppage with Errol Spence and Kell Brook. He's the same guy that said that Kell Brook was easily win that fight against Errol Spence on his card.
Hey, that was a
Now,
closer fight. Let me
I'm
tell you,
sorry.
that was a closer fight. That was a much closer fight than James DeGale and Badou Jack.
You
It
cannot use
was.
call practice reference. I'm just,
It
I'm just
just
being honest. You
was.
can't do that. Now, I got to ask you this another question. As far as Terrence Crawford is concerned, what, how many titles has Badou Jack won compared to Terrence Crawford?
Crawford's won more titles, and that's good. That's okay. But I don't think
Who
boxing
cleaned out
just
the division?
isn't
Terrence
based off
Crawford or
titles.
who cleaned
I
out the
don't think
division? Terrence, no, no, no. Who cleaned out the division? Terrence Crawford or Badou Jack?
Terrence Crawford got the fights and he become the undisputed champion. Simple as
Thank you.
that.
Now,
Did he beat? Hold on. But let's see.
no, no,
See that
no, no,
question.
no,
Hold on.
no,
Let me
no.
tell you where that question is flawed. Let me tell you that where that question is flawed because Terrence Crawford has how many wins at 140 pounds?
He has 6, 7 wins. Why?
It's like 6 wins, and Lundy really isn't a 140 pounder. Derijan is not. Hold on. Really not a 140 pounder. Derijan is really not a 140 pounder.
Yes, he is.
So he has 4 wins. That's
Yes, he
what
is.
Badou Jack has as well.
John is a
Just but
140 pound fighter.
hold on. Let me no, no, let me tell you where your logic is flawed. Let me just go there with you.
All right.
Derijan is not a. I believe Derijan was 135 basically career. Who was he mentioned fighting? Who was it that he was fighting and he beat? Yeah, I think it was 135. 135, um, 135, Derry John, basically 135, Hank Lundy. Every now and then he goes up. He's not a player in the division. So when you look at real players in the division, it was who the real players.
No,
They beat
actually, Derry John went down to 135 after his fight against Lamont Peterson. Then he moved back up to 140.
yeah,
So you gotta. So he actually is a 140 pound fighter. So he thought he could go down.
and basically not a player in the division, no matter what. Just really not a player in the division. He was coming up. He was coming up in weight, right? And
Yeah,
he's
he's a
really
decent
not a.
fighter. He's a
I
decent
mean,
fighter.
okay. So you have Indongo, Diaz, Postal, Molina, Delorme. Okay, let's say I would say I don't know if Delorme is really a player in the division either. Was for a vacant title, right?
Right. But he gave
He-
Crawford problems early in the fight, in the first 2 rounds. He did.
That's maybe
He
that's
did.
an indictment on Terrence Crawford. Maybe that is.
Hey, go.
Delorme, look, Delorme ain't a bad fighter. Look, I would favor Delorme over Derry Jean, and it. I would do that, even if he fought, if he did fight Lundy and he blew him out. In my opinion, he blew him out. He beat him, but I don't. I mean, he's better than them. I would say.
All right. Well, okay. Now, how many pound for pound fighters has Badou Jack beat compared to Terrence
On
Crawford?
on my list, James Gale was a pound for pounder. So one, Terrence Crawford pound for pound list. I don't think Terrence Crawford has beaten any pound for pound fighter.
Yeah, boy, was a pound for pound fighter.
No, 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 no. He was not a current pound for pound fighter. You didn't say current or former pound for pound fighters. I
No.
currently, I currently had James DeGale ranked at like I believe
Okay.
it was
Let me
either through
rephrase that question.
five through eight.
Let me rephrase that question. How many pound for pound current or former pound for pound fighters that that the Gale beat? I mean, sorry, not the Gale. What's the name? Badou Jack beat compared to Terrence Crawford.
On whose list are you going by? Just mainstream list or the list that I can backdate and tell you that I have James DeGale on my list? James DeGale has won my fighter of the year before. I'm just
Based on
telling
what?
you that
Based on what win?
when he beat Andre Durrell,
And
and
has
then
he won
he
a title?
Oh, no, 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 no. When James DeGale and Badou Jack in 2015, they were my co-fighters of the year.
For
They were
what?
the only.
They haven't really done much. They need to get more
Whoa,
bodies.
whoa, what do you mean? No, no, this is a year. This is a fighter. I'm just telling you, this is what you do in a year. You take two good fights and you win them. Badou Jack, he beat Anthony Durrell, he beat George Groves. I didn't think
Anthony
anybody,
Durrell. Oh,
I
Anthony
didn't think
Durrell, a
any
guy who got a title over
a
Saki
prime
Khabib's guy.
champion,
Yeah,
a
no, he
prime
was not.
champion,
He was not
a
his prime.
prime champion. Hold on, a
Dude had like
prime
6, 7
champion.
losses, bro, and he
No,
was
no,
getting.
let's hold on. He's a prime, basically undefeated champion that
Ooh, Anthony
knocked
Durrell.
out. Hold on. That knocked out the current IBF 168-pound champion. Just the facts.
Ooh,
That's what
Anthony
he's done.
Durrell.
Anthony Durrell knocked Caleb Truax clean the fuck out. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. But you saying
Okay,
that's a
all
great
right,
win?
and okay, he's a current. Hold on, he's a
That's a great
current
win.
champion. Hold on, he's a current champion. Badou Jack is the underdog in the fight. It's a prime on prime fight, and it's a fight that the world wanted to sleep on. That's their
So Anthony
problem.
Durrell's greatest win is Kayla Truax, right? Who got upset went over
Whoa,
to Gale, right? You're saying
whoa,
that's
whoa.
his greatest
I
win?
understand. Greatest victories don't keep you from getting. If a person doesn't have a great victory, doesn't mean he can't knock you clean the fuck
Okay,
out.
so are you
All right,
saying
this
that?
was
Oh, let me ask you this.
2015.
Let me ask you
The
this.
Wu Tang.
Are you saying that Anthony Durrell's win over Caleb Truss is a better win than Gamboa beating Orlando Salido?
You once again,
Is it?
you're going backwards when I'm making a comparison. This man knocked out he's already done it. Truax recently got knocked out by him and went on to win a title to beat James DeGale.
What? Okay,
Like,
okay. You ain't answered the question, bro. But
I mean,
yeah,
like I
come
said,
on, man.
Gamboa was a good fight. Gamboa was supposed to be the next something, but he blew that. And once that happens, it happens, man. I mean, Crawford even told this man, "You ain't really got no business in this fight." And then even telling him that he went in there and potentially lost the first 3 rounds, and damn got wobbled hard later in the fight. It was a fun fight, but
Mhm.
Crawford showed some flaws. It just is what it
Okay.
is. Like
Same thing about Badou Jack. He shows flaws too. Oh yeah, Derek Edwards exploited that.
who is that? Who is that? Badu? Who shows up? Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Early knockout in his career, and he's
Yep,
came back and he's done some amazing things.
exactly. Crawford hasn't been knocked out yet either. Has
And
Crawford been
I'm
knocked
not saying Crawford. I'm not saying Crawford is not. I'm just telling you. When I tell you that Badou Jack has done more, he's beaten the better opponents. Has Crawford had?
Yeah, so if I don't
Has
remember the
Crawford had a more? Has Crawford had a handful of lesser opposition that you can throw his name out there? Sure. But
okay.
I can't tell Badou Jack. I don't think you can beat those kind of guys when he gets in the ring with it cleverly and he destroys them in 5 rounds, moving up in another. I just can't do it.
But let
I
me ask you
can't
this:
do it.
this is a
He
win
got the
that people
better
don't really
victories.
talk about a lot about Terrence Crawford. Now, this is not when Terrence Crawford moved up to 140 to fight. What's his name? Thomas Malomari for a vacant title. People don't know that's not his first time he fought at 140. He fought British Prescott at 140. Now he took that fight on a 2 week notice. Now, would you credit Crawford for taking that win? Because many people felt that was a dangerous fight for him to take, given the fact that
I
Prescott
mean,
knocked out
it's something on the
knocked out
resume.
the boxer knocked out.
It's something on the resume. But I mean, it's nothing to go nuts about. It's something on the resume. If you're a good fighter, you're
Okay,
supposed to beat him. History showing us
so
that he can
it was a good
punch.
win, though. So it was a
It's
good
a
win.
good win.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's something on the resume. It's nothing to say. Oh, this gonna just pick me up and mean everything. But it's a good win.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. Because people don't seem to give him credit for that win because he took that fight on a 1 week and a half notice, and people thought that was dangerous for him to do that against a guy like that. So who was much naturally bigger than him. So you got to get. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Now, again, man, I just don't understand. So basically, you conceded that Crawford has achieved more than Badou Jack, but yet you still say the same thing about just outdone him based off what? I haven't yet
It
heard
is,
that.
man. It's just better opponents at the time. Like Crawford at the time. If you say who has more bodies, Postal, DeGale. DeGale has more bodies. Current champion. Former gold medalist. Not an undefeated fighter because he took an L to George Groves. And Jack says I can beat George Groves too.
Okay.
He beat George Groves, who gave a Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer Carl Froch, maybe the hardest fight of his life. Now you can't say that about Froch because
No, he
Froch
did.
has
He had
no,
tougher
I
fights.
can't say yeah, he has so many, but one of the hardest fights of his life. And just because you lose you saw in a loss what happened. George Groves still got to fight in front of 80,000 people the next time in a loss. Because
Yeah.
losing in boxing to me, and unless you losing like Adrian Broner and you just look like shit, you're not throwing punches, you're not trying. It really ain't no such thing as a bad loss.
All right.
Except
Well,
for your money, for me giving you credit is no such thing. Now your money may take a hit depending on certain things, but for me, I'm like, yo, if he went in there and he fought the best and he lost and he looked good doing it, hey, go on to the next, bro.
all
That's
right.
how I look at it.
All right. Well, okay. So the fact is that yeah, George Groves did give Carl Frachel those two fights, but he didn't win those fights. Okay.
Not too many people win those fights versus Carl Froch. Not too many people do that.
That's true. He did fight him, give him a hell, but he didn't win that fight. End of the day, what matters the most is not only who you fight, is how many bodies that you beat. That's what really matters. Is getting
I
those
don't know.
wins.
I don't know about that. I like I said, I can appreciate skill. I shit. Just because one guy got the job done the night he got held, don't mean you're going to.
Well,
And
it's not always gonna be.
once a guy, and I just feel like when I gave them to the fight of the year, nobody else that year faced guys that level. In my opinion, I'm looking at Anthony Durrell. On any given night, he can sleep you. He can hit you and sleep you. Any given night, George goes. He showed you I can outbox you and I can knock you out. Just is what it is. Any given
Well,
night, James DeGale, Andre Durrell was one of James DeGale, Andre Durrell was one of the most anticipated fights of the year for me. I don't care how
yeah,
many
and
people
let me just
showed up.
say this, man. Look, they're all good fighters, yes, in their divisions, yes. But at the same time, you have to understand one thing. Maybe those fighters are more competitive than the guys that Crawford fought at 140. Okay, not saying those guys are not competitive. It's just that Crawford makes his fights look easy compared to Badou Jack and Jason Gill
Bruh,
because
bruh, bruh.
I'm just saying.
Crawford did not
Well,
Crawford
no,
did not make Postal look easy.
yes, he did.
Crawford made
Yes,
Postal look boring.
oh,
That's what
he
he
did.
done.
He
No,
made
no,
it
no,
look
no.
easy.
It's true. It's true. No, 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 no. Let's be honest. I tell you, people, he made look easy, and that's Jean. That he made that look easy. He made Lundy look easy. He made Postal look like, yo, I'm not too sure of myself at times. Let
Yeah.
me stall this out a bit. And that's just the truth. Badou Jack is never running to opponent when the competition goes up and says, let
Well,
me change a little something.
I tell
He
you
doesn't.
one thing. He did run into a punch against Derek Edwards, and that was a bad mistake.
I mean, it is what it is. Happens in boxing. And
Yeah.
where is he now? Where is
Yeah, I
he
hear
now? Where is he now? I mean, shit, it happens.
you.
It
Well,
happens.
let me ask you this. One last question. How many lineal championships has Crawford won compared to? Actually, let me rephrase that. How many lineal championships has Badou Jack won compared to Terrence Crawford?
In the rightful world, it's 2-1 Terrence Crawford. But today, what we living in, what we rob fighters and people act like it's fine to do, it's 2-0 Terrence Crawford.
Okay, so
Take the division in context though. Take the
okay,
division,
so
take it in
basically,
context.
again, so after all the questions, and you did answer to your best ability, I'll give you that, even though you try to avoid some of them. You just admitted that Crawford has done better, done more. So you can't say anything.
No, 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 no. I never said. Hold on. Back to my title. Let's go back to my title.
You said
It's
Badou Jack
outdone.
outdone.
I said
Yeah.
he's outdone. He had to, in my opinion, the opponents he has fought, like I said, I never counted belts. That was not my argument. Just
Oh,
the
so you say
opponent.
belts are not important? Are you saying belts are not
No, no,
important?
no, no, no. I mean, belts are trinkets. They're fine. If you want to add them up, you can add them up. But when competition, look, we can go. Okay, let's talk belts. Let's talk belts. Let's use Caleb Truax.
Okay,
Caleb Truax is the IBF champion of the world.
right.
Sean Porter has no title right now. Who's the better fighter, Dan?
Kayla Chu is an IBF champion of the world, and Sean Porter is not the IBF champion. Who's a better fighter? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, who's the better fighter?
Well, I mean, at this point, it would be Sean Porter.
Okay, all right. Well, let's do some more. I mean,
Let me elaborate on that further because first of all, Porter fought better opposition than Caleb Truex. He got those wins. He had some success with the title defenses as IBF champion. Truex has yet to get any title defenses yet, so we gotta wait and see. It could be a time we could say, you know what, if Caleb Truex has proven himself as
yeah,
a friendly
that's
champion.
true. That's true. But I'm just saying where we're at now. That's all I can do. Like where we're at now is that's where his opponents were. Like he did not beat a title holder for the IBF strap at 140.
Who are you talking
Um,
about?
Not IBF strap. It was the WBO strap. He did not beat the title holder for that. He
Yeah,
beat
but yeah, he
he.
won it in the ring though. I
Okay,
get
so
you.
okay, I get it. But over his career, Terrence Crawford has beaten, is it three current world champions, right?
No, he beaten. Let's go down the list here. I'll count it for
Three,
you.
no, three current world champions. He held the WBO belt at 135. He
Three
took
current.
that he took that from Ricky Burns. He beat
Okay.
Postal. He beat Undango. Badou Jack, if you rightfully give him his
Gamble
shit, you know what I mean. No, I said current world champion guys that get current world titleists, people who gave him a title when he fought. So
gave him a title.
basically,
What do you mean
yeah,
gave him a title?
no,
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
people he took the title from. So this is
Okay.
what. So Badou Jack, if I'm just saying, if you play it right, in my opinion, and I believe it's a lot of people's opinion, if you play it right, he's beaten two. All right, and I believe
I
Anthony
can't do that,
Durrell.
bro.
I believe Anthony Durrell
Cannot do that
and
because
a guy like James DeGale pose more threat than Ndongo,
you
Ricky
can't do that,
Burns.
bro. Because you give Adonis some full credit for beating former world champion. Sakubika
No,
went
no,
to
no.
the
I'm
bottom.
not saying. I'm not saying there's nothing. Okay, listen.
Oh, you
I'm
can't do
I'm not
that.
no Badou Jack. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying current. I don't. There's nothing wrong with beating former world champions. I'm counting the current one since you wanted to count belts, and I can only say factually that Badou Jack beat one, but opinionated, why I think he beat the hell out of two. All right. So if we play former current world champions, you got okay, Gamboa, Burns,
Mhm.
um, was Delorme a former world champion?
No, he wasn't. He beat before that fight. He beat the up and coming prospect Kareem Bayfield, and that's when he made
Nah,
his.
nah. I thought he won the title before that, or maybe he got knocked out in that fight.
No, he won it. He won a regional title. That was in the WBO rankings, which was the NABF title. He beat Hank Lundy for that title. So he had a win against Hank Lundy. He beat Wade Shot Chop Chop
Okay, all
Corley
right.
that day.
Terrence Crawford has beaten how many current? How many form? You have Gamboa. His former ones are Gamboa.
Burns, Pustile, and Dundongo.
No. We're just talking about the ones that wasn't former champion, that wasn't current champions. Guys that was former champions when he fought them. They weren't current champions.
Gamble is only one.
Gamboa is the only one. So there you have. If that's the case, John Molina Jr. never won no strap.
No, no, he never did.
Mm,
He never did.
mm.
He knocked out Mickey Bay though.
No, he got knocked out. He got knocked out by what's the name when he fought for the strap, didn't he?
No, he knocked out Mickey Bay.
No.
He knocked him out.
When he fought for the strap, he got KO'd in one round
It was
by
Antonio DeMarco.
Marco. Yeah.
Yeah, the same guy that
So
Edwin Valaro steamrolled. So yeah, I mean,
so if you count it up, Jack has fought four current. No, he's fought five current former world champions.
okay, Crawford has fought four of them combined. So yeah, you give
Four. Yeah,
Jack
okay.
credit. You give
Yeah.
Jack
So it just is what it is, man. It just they equal in what they doing, but in my opinion,
yeah. So
Badou Jack
how do you
Badou Jack is
differentiate?
never changing who he is in the ring.
Okay,
He never changes. Yo, I need to switch it up, and I can't solve the puzzle. I need to be on the back foot. I need to pace this fight out, sort of like the post-star fight.
all right. Well, in that situation, you just said they're equal in that department. Then how do you distinguish the difference from another category on title wins? That's how you do it. It wins the title fights. And Crawford's got that, bro. And you conceded to that.
Look. All I can do is judge. When judging like this is gonna go on in the sport, and it's not gonna stop. All I'm gonna do is judge performances. I think that's just fair. I watch a lot of fights. I understand boxing. I'm going to judge performance. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you what a scorecard reads,
All right.
because it's gonna diminish what boxing should be. And I'm not here to do that. I'm tired of that being done.
I hear you. And, you know,
And this
corruption is
man,
going to be there.
this man, in my opinion, they got him with Butte. They stole a fight from him with Butte. They went back and overturned that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree with that. I
they
said that.
went back and overturned that. There's no way they can go back and overturn the Gale for whatever reason. He's doesn't have to be done. People understand his career changed that night. And if you think that's the right kind of way to get whooped, then go get whooped like that. Train your fighter to get whooped that way and get wins that way, and you won't last very long. But
Okay, well, hey, Chad Ross in the comment section say, hey, man, by your criteria, you're saying that Badou Jack is better than Adonis Stevenson.
Badou Jack is trying to be better than the Dynasty. He is ready to go fight him. We don't have to guess. This how real he is.
All right,
This is what I want.
all right.
You ain't mentioning no curveball when you mention Stevenson. Me, I don't love these hoes. This
Well,
just
no,
simple
I'm
as
not
that.
saying that. I'm not saying that. Champ Ross said
I'm
that.
just talking to him. That's who I'm talking to. Man, look, y'all can talk. I seen the comment that said LowPlace got a Adonis Stevenson statue by his fight. Okay, thumbs up. Look, Adonis Stevenson can go night night. Badou Jack can go night night. Terrence Crawford can go next, and I'm going night night soon after them, and I'm gonna have sweet dreams. I ain't
All right.
studying these dudes. I want to see good fights. That's all you ever hear me preach.
All right. Well, let's get off this conversation. One last question before I go. I want your take on this one. Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather had an Instagram beef earlier today. Uh, this all started with Sugar Ray Leonard posting a picture with him and Tommy Hearns. They were posing the picture, right? This picture was taken like around 1990, early 90s or mid 90s, right? Floyd decided to get on Sugar Ray Leonard's account, right? He messaged him and said, "Hey man, you and Tommy Hearns will be easy work for me." And Sugar Ray Leonard didn't like that comment, so he responded back to him and said, "Hey, first of all, Floyd, I knocked your father out. Yeah, he gave me a tough fight, but I KO'd him, and you would have been no problem for me in my prime." Now, what do you think about that? You think Sugar Ray Leonard would beat Floyd Mayweather in his prime at 147?
Be honest, I got no. I don't care. Like they just holding on. Like it's new. It's new people out here today. They did their part. This for somebody else to talk. I kind of got no comment on it. Like when I seen all that and I just scrolled past it.
Okay.
Shit.
All right. Well, I mean, just saying that was definitely bring up the Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather debate in the future. So, I mean, I know Mr. Boxer today. You and I want Mr. Boxer today. What's up, brother? I know he and I want to get on that. We're gonna have to talk about that because I mean, both fighters are retired. I mean, we can definitely talk about it now. But to me, I think Sugar Ray Leonard would have destroyed Floyd at 147. I mean, that's my opinion. And Tommy Hearns massacred him. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It's good having a conversation with you, man. Everybody on the chat, shout out to all of Kamadi. I see you there, Mr. Boxer today. D Style, what's up, man? I just missed you in there. Red Fox, Champ Ross, Rock 89, all you guys, man. I appreciate you guys in the chat. Pesh K, sorry you couldn't get on, man. I know you tried to. Black Latin Caesar, Derek Williams, Chill Zone. I got you guys, and yeah, that's about it. So other than that, I'm gonna wrap this up. We are out. Happy holidays, everybody. Peace.